Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today is nobody at all. However, I am wearing a very special shirt in honor of Michael Avenatti, who we will be talking about a lot. I will be wearing a wife beater. So that's for you guys. And Michael Avenatti, who I have only the utmost respect for, You can't find a lawyer doing better. You cannot find a lawyer doing better than Michael Avenatti in 2019. Can't do it. Can't do it. 2018 was a fantastic year. An absolutely fantastic year for Michael Avenatti. Let's see, he got BTFO'd on the Stormy Daniels case. He had to give up his law firm. He was sued for like all sorts of fraud. I mean, the guy is not winning. But you know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes when you're the creepy porn lawyer, when you're Michael Avenatti, and when you're going after, I mean, the president of the United States. Guys, like, regardless of what you think about Trump, Avenatti, Stormy Daniels, regardless of what you think, if you are going to legally attack in a personal way the president of the United States, who also happens to be an extremely wealthy and I guess arguably powerful billionaire in his own right, you better not be Michael Avenatti, right? Don't have the skeletons. Don't have them swinging in the closet. Oh my goodness. What were you thinking? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? So we are here. We're here to talk about this. You know, I honestly don't know how long this stream is going to be. Because there's a lot to kind of cover on it, which is fine. That's a good thing. There's a lot to cover on the stream, but there's so much that there's no way we get through all of Michael Avenatti's indictment. The complaint against him is 197 pages. I do have it. It was posted on the Department of Justice's website. What is it? Central District of California. There's another Avenatti thing I want to talk about very briefly as well. This kind of flew under the radar, but yeah. Here we go. Okay. We got to talk about this too. This also involves Avenatti losing, which is shameful display. Terrible. But I want to do a couple housekeeping things and get into it first. We're also going to talk Smollett very briefly. We're going to talk Smollett. I'll give you my thoughts on what might have happened there. The news is weird. It's a little bit what is happening? There we go. The news on Smollett's a little bit weird, but it's not super unexpected. But let's talk about what's coming this week. Tomorrow is the 40K stream. I have one guest confirmed that is a border prince, and he is an European, so he will be up very early to do the stream with me, which I am greatly appreciative of. I have a couple other guests that I have reached out to, but don't have specific confirmation yet. We will see. Either way, tomorrow we're going to be talking about 40K, a hobby of mine. I don't really know what the show's going to be like because there's not like a legal issue right now with them for me to ground the show in, but we'll be talking about it, okay? So it should be fun. We're going to have fun tomorrow. I'll announce the guest list once I've confirmed everybody. Thursday, I'm not sure. Thursday may be a live stream on the Vic situation. It could be anything else that pops up that's major news. I don't know yet. Friday, the 24-hour stream starts at the usual time, 11 p.m. Central. And it will go 11 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday. Many of you think I will fall asleep. Many of you think I will die of alcohol poisoning or liver failure. All of these possibilities are true, and we'll just have to see. I have a balancing act that I have to pull. I have a prescription for modafinil for my narcolepsy, okay? But if you take modafinil, you cannot drink. I did this on accident one time, and basically the alcohol goes Super Saiyan. I mean, immediately. You get hammered so fast and stay hammered for so long. And I talked to a pharmacist, not a pharmacist, but a guy who does medical testing, and he basically suggested that the enzymes that make modafinil work are processed by the liver, so the liver function is impaired on filtering out alcohol. Now I don't know if that's true, but it made enough sense to me, and just how blasted I got on like two whiskeys. So I have to give up one. I have to do one or the other, right? I have to either take the medicine to try and stay awake, or I have to take the liquor to try and stay awake. But thank goodness, joining me tomorrow, joining me for that stream, I think maybe all of it, because he's a madman, but I'm not going to hold him to that, will be an in-studio guest. My good friend Drexel will be with me. I'm not sure what all we're going to do. We would like to play some Battletoads, but I've got to figure out the logistics of getting that set up here in my office. So we're going to make a fun 24-hour stream. There will be other guests invited as well. I'm gonna have some open invites to people for them to jump on whenever they can during the day and just kind of keep y'all company, keep me company, and we're gonna be talking about everything we possibly can. So that's Friday and Saturday. Monday, Hard Bastard, by popular request, demand, super chat action, Hard Bastard will be on. We're going to be talking about the Mueller report, the Mueller investigation in general. He has been apparently covering the story very extensively, and so several people have asked me to get him on the show. That is Monday. We're like 99% confirmed on that. I believe everything is good to go. So you've asked, you will receive. You will receive. So there you go. All right. That's what we've got coming up. Confirmed. Of course, Thursday there will be a show of some sort. Oh, let me talk about this. Before we kick the main subject of the show off, let me get everything else out of the way that I can think of. I tweeted out just a little bit ago. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you may have not. I have obtained information in the anime community. How do I say it? Little bird has whispered in my ear that over the past weekend at ZenkaiCon, Monica Rial had Todd Haberkorn removed. Now, not like during the panel, but prior to a panel, Monica Rial had Todd Haberkorn thrown right off that panel for concerns over her safety. Concerns over her safety. That's what a little bird has whispered in my ear. I reached out for Mr. Haberkorn for a statement. I was not able to get a statement from Mr. Haberkorn on the issue. I can tell you that my sources on this are good. Very good. Credible sources. But you'll have to take me at my word. You'll have to take me at my word because, I mean, of course, everybody contrary on the Kick-Vic side, they all would immediately disclose and dox all of their sources constantly, right? That's what they do when they make their proclamations and accusations. They immediately talk about their sources and identify them for the whole world, right? Yeah. But if no matter how often I'm right, if I say that I can't disclose the name of my source or the identity or the position or anything of my source, suddenly I'm not believable because I'm not in the con community or whatever nonsense there is. Well, here's the thing, y'all. Just weigh out who's been correct and who hasn't, and always judge for yourself. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy in a vault in Minnesota. I'd probably be the subject of a murder documentary if I wasn't, just because of the circumstances here. But instead, no. I'm reaching out to people in the anime community, a community that I have not been part of, have very little connection to, but the people I am talking to, you would be shocked. You would be shocked who reaches out to me. So, that's that. That's that. But that's the news. So I do plan on doing a short video talking about the safety concerns surrounding Monica Rial. I do plan to do a short video, not a live stream, a short video talking about the safety concerns of Monica Rial. I do want to recap that contract in a short video and talk about some additions I would make to make it a better contract. I thought that might be interesting. So keep an eye out for those two videos. I'll try and get them out over the next day or two here. But when you do get those, if you like them and share them. That's all I ask. That's it. That helps a lot. What else? Should we talk Smollett? Where is it? Let me get this. Jessie Smollett. Very prepared. Here, this will be interesting. All right. So there's a new development here. A new development. Let me pull this up. And this might make some sense with something I'm going to tell you. Oh, I have to change the here we go. There. That should help. Now let me get oh, come on, don't make me do this. Where is... Oh! Look at that! It's a little tiny box. That's not useful. That's not useful at all. Whee! Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I can. Just don't like to fix it on the fly because it messes with things. Here we go. That's way over there. Let's pull... Aha! Hold on, guys. This is how the real technology occurs. Right here, live on the fly. All right, so we just bring this idiot over here, and here we go. All right. We're doing it. I apologize for the I never like to do things on the fly like that, but that's what we've got. And I am going to go through all of the super chats in just a minute, but let's start with this story because this is short. So, as you may or may not know, the hate crime hoax charges against Jessie Smollett were dropped on Tuesday. That's today. They were dropped today. So that is a weird thing. That is a weird thing because it apparently clearly hoaxed a hate crime. And if you were around for when Drexel was on the stream, he said that was one of the worst things that could be done because of the risk, right? You risk a riot, you risk people really getting mad about stuff like that. Shockingly, people aren't fans of fake racial crimes. But that's where that is. But here we go. Let's read this. Let's just read this article. This is from Fox News, so don't trust it at all. Despite the hate crime hoax charges against him being stunningly dropped on Tuesday, Empire star Jessie Smollett may not be out of the woods just yet. An investigation into a death threat letter the actor supposedly received prior to the alleged January 29th attack has been handed over to the FBI. Chicago police spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi, whatever that guy's name is, told Fox News. Smollett initially had been suspected as the source of the letter. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service is working closely with our law enforcement partners on this investigation. USPS said in a statement to Fox News, "We are unable to provide any additional comment at this time." Now, if you don't know, sending something through the Postal Service basically becomes a federal crime. Once that happens, you're in federal territory. So that may have something to do with this. The city of Chicago may have thought that they didn't necessarily have a good way to charge the hoaxed attack, but they thought, well, we can hand this over to the feds and let them screw it up, right? That could be the plan. Chicago cops previously said Smollett allegedly resorted to staging the bogus attack after the threatening letter he sent himself at his Chicago Fox studio 2 weeks earlier didn't garner enough attention. If he mailed that threatening letter to himself by using the post office, he engaged in postal fraud. That's 5 to 10 years in jail. That's 3 times what he's facing for filing a false report if the feds wanted to go there. Fox News legal analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano said. Smollett told police he was attacked by 2 masked men as he was walking home from a Chicago subway sandwich shop at 2 a.m. on January 29th. Just imagine being, at least a high up actor, but I believe the star of a pretty successful Fox television show. And what you're doing at 2 a.m. on a January night where it's minus 20 is you're walking home from a subway? What, like, get an Uber? What is happening? The actor, who is black and openly gay, said the masked men beat him, made derogatory comments, and yelled, "This is MAGA country," an apparent reference to President Donald Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." Smollett initially was charged last month with 1 count of lying to the authorities. A grand jury letter indicted him on 16 felony counts of lying to authorities, 8 counts for what he told the officer who responded to the report of the Jan 29th attack in downtown Chicago, and 8 counts for what he later told a detective about being the victim of a brutal racist and homophobic beating by 2 masked men. Important to realize that a 16 felony count grand jury indictment was dropped. Which, if that doesn't bother you, it should. It should. A 16 felony count grand jury indictment in Illinois is just dropped. Oh my good Lord. Good Lord, why? Why would they do that? Oh my goodness. So that's the curious case of Jessie Smollett at present. Now, why? Why would you drop this? I don't know. I don't know why. There are several reasons that are possible. One of them might actually involves Michael Avenatti. Let me find this tweet. Where are you? Where you at, Ben Shapiro? Saw his tweet earlier. Whoops, I don't want to talk to him. See what we got. Come on, where is it? Oh my gosh. I hate trying to find stuff like this because Ben Shapiro tweets a million times a second. Actually, his handler probably does. Let me pull it out. So one of the people indicted along with Michael Avenatti is apparently Jessie Smollett's lawyer. Where is that? Oh my god. I'm sorry for not having this prepped. Sorry for not having this prepped. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? All right, we're going to find it this way. I'll just use the Google. I'll just use the Google. Here we go. It's posted on Daily Wire, but it's also posted elsewhere. So let me pull that up. And I've got a trigger warning, you guys. I've got a trigger warning because the person whose face is about to be on screen is absolutely appalling and repulsive to look at. So, oh, but thank God an ad is covering up most of it. So I'm sorry for this, but here you go. There you go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Anytime you want to make fun of my nose, that's fine, but look at that. Look at that thing. That's horrible. Oh, God. Ugh. I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of that? Co-conspirator in alleged Avenatti fraud scheme is CNN analyst Jessie Smollett's lawyer, report says. Now, CNN, former analyst as of like yesterday. As of yesterday. Oh, whoa. Look at all these ads. Dear Lord. I really got to get ad block going. Okay, so the Wall Street Journal reported on Monday that the alleged co-conspirator in the alleged Michael Avenatti fraud scheme is CNN legal analyst Mark Garagos, who is also Jessie Smollett's lawyer. That's about all we need of this story. That's all we need of this story right now to find out why charges may have been dropped against Jessie Smollett. But we'll go on. The co-conspirator in the matter is attorney Mark Garagos. Two people familiar with the matter said, the Journal reported. According to the complaint filed in New York, Mr. Avenatti and Mr. Garagos, the alleged co-conspirator, met with lawyers for Nike in New York on March 19th and threatened to release damaging information unless the company agreed to pay the two lawyers millions of dollars and another $1.5 million to the client Avenatti claimed to represent. On CNN's website, Garagos is listed as a legal analyst for CNN. Garagos recently appeared on CNN where he defended Smollett after Smollett was charged with 16 felony counts. At the time, he claimed that Smollett was the victim of a media gangbang. Why? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're bringing 16 counts. They're bringing 16 counts because they parsed out two statements, Garagos said. I defy you to find something like that. He was not suspended. They have not talked to one person at Fox who said he was dissatisfied with his money. They have not interviewed one person connected with the show Empire who says he was dissatisfied with his money. That's a quote from Garagos. What is happening here, he continues, what is happening here is frankly a media gangbang of this guy of unprecedented proportions. And then... and unrepentant length too. And that's the reason I got into this, Garagos continued. I've never seen a media pendulum swing more quickly and more viciously and rob somebody of their presumption of innocence like this case. It's startling the way people assume that he's guilty. I mean, there are reasons. Garagos has also represented former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, Michael Jackson, and Chris Brown. Avenatti, who was arrested on Monday, faces federal charges in both New York and in California for an alleged bank and wire fraud. A lawyer has a basic duty not to steal from his client, United States Attorney Nick Hanna said. Mr. Avenatti is facing serious criminal charges alleging he misappropriated client trust funds for his personal use, and he defrauded a bank by submitting phony tax returns in order to obtain millions of dollars in loans. I don't know which client they're talking about, but I do remember a statement by one Stormy Daniels that said basically that Michael Avenatti had proceeded in the lawsuit against Donald Trump without her authorization to do so. Marsupial Gamer, we're talking about Michael Avenatti. I am wearing a wife beater, as is appropriate. As is appropriate. Let's see. Professionals, including attorneys who create elaborate schemes that have no purpose other than to mislead others and defraud both their clients and federally insured financial institutions, run the very high risk of prosecution, said Special Agent in Charge Ryan Corner of IRS Criminal Investigation. The criminal complaint unsealed today shows a pattern of selfish behavior that paints Mr. Avenatti as a lawyer who only represents his own self-interests. If convicted, Avenatti faces up to 50 years in federal prison. Ooh, ouch. I'm sure he's going to get a pardon from Trump, right? According to the Department of Justice, Avenatti rose to fame when he represented porn star Stormy Daniels, which led to CNN and NBC featuring him in their networks over 200 times. Daniels responded to Avenatti's arrest in a statement saying, "Knowing what I know now about Michael Avenatti, I am saddened but not shocked by news reports that he has been criminally charged today. I made the decision more than a month ago to terminate Michael's services after discovering that he had dealt with me extremely dishonestly, and there will be more announcements to come. I ask that the media respect my decision to withhold further public comment regarding Mr. Avenatti at this time." Oh, man, that is brutal. Oh, man, that is brutal. Don't be Michael Avenatti. Don't be him. Don't be him. Terrible plan. Really a short-sighted decision to be that guy. You done noising up my stream with your printing? I don't know if they could, but I can every time it prints. You're fine. Get out of here. Love you. You're fine. What is this? Cool. Can you show me later? It's very nice.
Bingo.
Frickin' bingo. Lady Racket says hi to everybody, by the way. And don't worry, I won't be channeling my Michael Avenatti. I am very upset with her, but these hands will not touch that lady in any harmful way tonight. I'm wearing a wife beater. Yeah. So anyway, let me we're gonna go through his indictment, his California indictment. I have that pulled up. But so I wanted to talk about the Smollett thing. It's highly possible. It's highly possible that the mystery of Smollett's dismissal involves Smollett ratting out his lawyer, turning over some sort of information that they found valuable. Get out of here. Yeah, I see. Get out. I'm doing the worst. The absolute worst. I told you. Oh my goodness. No respect. Nothing happening here. Uh-oh. Guys, I have a risk. I apparently had some proper 12 left over from last night. It's been sitting here all day. Here we go. Oh, that is filthy. Gah. Oh my goodness. That was horrid. I just wanted to make some room. Oh. Okay. We'll get something better in there. Whoa. That was gross, y'all. That was gross. All right. So let's burn through some super chats and justice chats, and then we will go into the indictment, which is over here. This is the California criminal complaint. I don't have the New York one. Again, this is 197 pages. So we're gonna do what we can on this, and let's just laugh at and Michael Avenatti a bit. That's what this is about. Levity in the face of someone else's abject failure to do anything correctly. Let's see. Oh, yes. Chem is life. Let me, I'll pull that report up as well. We'll touch on that after we do some super chats. Thank you for doing that. We'll just have to talk about that a little bit. That one gets the noggin jogging, right? That's the phrase. That's the phrase we get to use when we're is that a neo-Nazi phrase yet? Is that a neo-Nazi phrase yet? Okay. Here we go. Amtank. Live at 11 Central seems suspicious, likely story. It's YouTube's fault. I try and start it at 11, but it has some lead up time. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rackets, just start at 10:58. But my brain doesn't function that way. I can't do it. I can't do that. Turd Ferguson says, much respect, Nick. Glad to see the internet can still produce personalities with morals and common sense. Too bad it's still full of trolls without. Yes, it is still full of trolls, but it's not just the internet. It's not just the internet full of trolls and people who have no morals and no common sense. I mean, look at the anime community right now. You're finding a bunch of people who have no value in contracts, who have no problem dragging someone's name through the mud, who have no problem casting spurious aspersions against their character for any number of reasons. We just get to find them. We just get to find them on the internet a little easier. Next, Automata says, if you heard about the email threat to Tug his family, wondering what are potential charges on something like that. I actually haven't. I have not heard about an email threat to Tug. I'll have to reach out to him. I am not aware of what's going on with that, but I'll reach out. So there we go on that one. Louis Tomato says, "Hey Nick, I got a SS3 Kamehacon ticket and can't go. Unfortunately, something came up. Was hoping you can help me give it away." Okay. I'd love to help you give it away. I don't know how to do it. What should we do? We do like a Twitter poll, like a Twitter thing? I don't know how to do that. Can you email me, Louis Tomato? Like either right now or right after the show or whatever. Email me, rekieta@rekieta.org. It's my public business email address. Give me the information and we'll find a way to get that to whoever. We'll do a contest or something. I don't know if it's a contest or just like a raffle type thing. Who knows? But I'd love to help get someone to Kamehacon. That would be great. Mithran Emrys says, and to think 6 months ago CNN was touting creepy porn liar as a legitimate threat to Trump's 2020 chances. Yep, that 2020 cred is only growing. Save it for the 24-hour stream. That's an interesting one. We'll talk about that. I gotta make sure and do it where there's no like gambling or buying of the ticket involved. Cause I can't just like give it away to like for a super chat contest or anything like that. I think it's got to be a no money thing. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. With that. Samuel Montanez says, thank you for the endless hours of entertainment. Makes interstate trucking more enjoyable. Listening unless not driving. Good night, all. Good night, buddy. Thank you for enjoying the show and tuning in. Billy the Mac, #wifebeaterlawyer, not even your final form. Oh, we haven't gone full Twitch thought yet. I'll get the deep V going, baby. David Alexander says, how dirty is Mark Garagos? Pretty dirty. Like dirty looking. Looks absolutely hideous. But it seems to be deeply entrenched in this Avenatti stuff. But I don't know yet. Asia Frazier says, tell us about that time when a blue orca got hit by a tugboat being steered by a drunken lawyer raving about a beard to be feared. Sounds like a great fan fiction. Just not a Not a whatchamacallit. Not a yaoi fan fiction, please. Greek Saiyan says, Vic is best Broly, Nick is best internet lawyer. Thank you so much. DJ Ray says, Nick, here's some money. Go buy a clock so you'll be on time for the start of your next live stream. I'll try. I'll try harder tomorrow. Kaio Souza says, thanks. Think Nick is Brazilian because we are always late. Blue Satoshi, Jim confirmed he'd be on the 40K stream. Well, if Jim confirmed it, I will be sending Jim a link to the 40K stream tomorrow. So hopefully he confirmed. I heard he had talked about the 24-hour stream. I'll invite him to both. He's welcome to come on both. I'll drop him links to each one. And so if Jim wants to join me on either of those, he is certainly welcome. Sakaki Onsai, off the wall theory, Smollett dropped by CPD, gets picked up by FBI, gets turned and gives evidence on Cook County prosecutor Kim Fox, Tina Chien, and other power players. Am I nuts? You're not nuts. You're not nuts. I don't know if it's on Kim Fox, though, or if it's on his attorney, Garagos. Garagos sounds like a super villain. Matoko Kusanagi. You learn something new every day. I'm so sorry you had to learn the hard way, though. Alcohol plus medication equals usually bad. It wasn't a bad night. I just got, I was at a charity event and I had 2 drinks. Luckily, I was with my wife and my parents at this charity event. And so I had the 2 drinks. It was in a downtown area and we walked there. So it wasn't a big deal. But I realized very quickly how intoxicated I got. And they were able to, they were able to help me recognize that and not persist, because that would have been bad. But it hit so fast, it was crazy. I wouldn't have even had time for a 3rd drink. Kiash the Pally says, do you just read the books or do you play the tabletop game for Warhammer? I only read the books. I would love to play the tabletop, but there's not many opportunities around where I am. Neil Purcell, you can't beat Klinger Winger in 2-player. I know. What you have to do is the second player, which is usually me, has to actually lose a continue. And so then the first player beats Klinger Winger, and then the second player comes back for the revolution. That's just how you got to do it. It's the only way to beat Battletoads 2 players. The second player has to lose on the Klinger Winger. Zara BP says, is there a chance of a federal case against Jesse? If he indeed sent a letter through the mail, absolutely. I don't know if they'll do it. They might just be leveraging pressure to get him to turn evidence on Garagos. Chris Nemo says, you say Flandre, like you say Dr. Dre, answer my DM. Will do, Chris. Will do. Majin Wiabu, WTF, why do you have gray hair? Did you dye it? Do I have gray hair? No, I think it's just I just showered right before the stream, and it's probably just a combination of the it's still a little bit damp and the conditioner and the lighting. So that's my guess. I don't know. If I have gray hair, then I have gray hair, but I don't think so. Storm Knight MD, if what you say is true, Real is playing the vagina pass. What a cop-out and cheap shot. Hope Kamea-Khan sues those that bowed out for contract breaking. Can I digress? For just a moment? I apologize. I really didn't want to talk much about Vic or Kamea-Khan tonight, but here's the real question. Why in God's name are these conventions capitulating to these voice actors? Like, why on earth? This is not a place for business. Like, business does not operate in this way. The way you do business is more business. Ty has said that. But the way you don't do business is like this weird shifting around. I mean, when people, when they defame your convention by saying they're not safe, when they breach their contract, when they imply that they're going to further be in breach of their contract by setting up an alternative competing convention, the remedy for that, by the way, let's just say Real and Co. set up their own, they set up their own separate signing. Now, they're not going to charge tickets, but they are certainly going to charge for signatures. And I say certainly because I have a brain. These people, this is their meal ticket. Conventions pay the bills. The voice acting doesn't pay the bills. The conventions pay the bills, especially big ones like this. Rial has got to recoup some of the lost income she would have from this, from skipping out this event. So likely she would be banking on the outrage of the Kick Vic side, driving them to this alternative location, I guess by Uber, where they would then pay to have signatures from her and probably pity pay the people that are with her that they don't care about, right? That's how that would probably go. The remedy for that, for the convention, would be that every single dollar made by these people at their separate convention would be the property of Kamea for their breach of contract. That's the remedy. If Kamea were to pursue a breach of contract claim for the violation of the non-compete, they would be entitled to recover any money that they earned for themselves, because you don't get to do that. You don't get to violate a non-compete and then just go ahead and, well, I violated it. What's the damage? Well, the damage is every dollar you earned, you would have earned at the convention, and the convention gets to recoup that. So it's a really crazy situation that's going on. But here's the thing. I mean, if what possibly is going to happen happens, if they set up the alternate venue, we have to conclude one of two things. They're either not afraid of the breach, or Kamea allowing them to breach. One of those two, that's the result, is that either they breach or Kamea agrees to it. If Kamea agrees to the breach, why? Why on earth would they do that? I've seen speculation about saving face with Monica to have her at the next con or something. I'm sorry. That's a silly position to take, because Monica is the one who stands to gain more than the con from having Monica at the con. Because she gets to ride on the coattails of bigger names and get more money than she otherwise would. I don't think that Fourth Bulma is bringing a huge draw to Kamea. Now, there are other conventions where Monica is a more prominent voice actress where that would make more sense. But at Kamea, I mean, they're not there to see her. They're not there to see Bulma. So I find a lot of suspicion in all of that, but we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. That's the beauty of all this. It gets to unfold in real time. That's why it's so freaking compelling. Check your Twitter DMs. Oh no, what? I don't like checking my Twitter DMs during the show. I got it. Anyway. There you go. I responded. Buddy. Thanks for reaching out. I understand exactly why you're asking. But that's, there you go. So, okay. So where were we? We were on, I'll do a couple more of these things and then we'll go. But yeah, that's the weird thing about this. And then of course with the Habercorn announcement that at Zenkai-Con, Monica apparently bodied Habercorn off of a panel for her safety. Why would Zenkai-Con say anything other than, look, fulfill your contract. We have a contract with him. I don't know. I haven't seen Zenkai-Con's contract with either of them, so I don't know if there's some provision that would allow it, but it's very, very suspect. They don't need to capitulate. They're providing a huge income opportunity for all of these people. Very silly. Ichicinco Negroni says, I believe everything Nick says. Lawyers never lie. There you go. Correct. Matt Field says, Hard Bastard has been on the Russia hoax every day. Cool, funny dude. Everyone should subscribe to Hard Bastard. He's also a Jehovah's Witness cult survivor. So there you go. DCV Titan says, let's see. Nick, why the wife beater? Although we're at white, it could have been an Italian dinner jacket. No, it's just in honor of our good friend Michael Avenatti. Okay, so I've got 3 justice chats to go through, and then we will be back, or 4, and then we will be back on course and we will start talking about Avenatti. We'll take a break in a little bit and do some more super chat read through. So Knight of Hopex says, is it possible Jessie Smollett claiming innocence violates the deal he got, or is he just off scot-free at this point? Once the charges are dropped, I mean, depending on how they drop them, but if they actually dismiss the charges, if the state chooses to dismiss the charges, he's off scot-free. You know, that's how it goes. Although not from the feds, apparently. The feds are investigating, so we learned that. Siren Jag says the Amazonians will be divided into 3 groups, and Kif, as the most attractive male, will be snoo-snooed by the most beautiful woman of Amazonia, then the large women, then the petite women, then the large women again. Yorgamundo7 says, so when did you stop beating your wife? Twitter wants to know. I choose not to answer that question. These Hands says, do you think Jessie Smollett gets the noose back from the evidence locker? I know how he can put it to good use. Feel free to disavow. Well, I have to. We can't advocate that. But what you mean, of course, is that he could untie the noose and use the rope to help tow cars out of ditches with his car. That's what you mean. I hope. We don't wish anything negative on anyone here. That would be rude. Okay. All right. Let's get back into this document. We've got United States of America versus Michael J. Avenatti. Docket number, blah, blah, blah. Magistrate case number. Here's the filing stamp. Filed on the 22nd. Honorable Judge Douglas F. McCormick. And the date of offenses beginning in or around January 2014 and continuing through March of this year. There you go. Complaint statement of facts constituting the event of the offense or violation. Count 1. 18 USC 1344, subsection 1. Beginning in or about January 2014 and continuing through in or about April 2016 in Orange County, within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendant Michael J. Avenatti, together with others known and unknown, knowingly and with intent to defraud, executed and attempted to execute a scheme to defraud the People's Bank as to material matters. On or about December 12th, 2014 in Orange County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendant Avenatti, together with others known and unknown, committed and willfully caused others to commit the following act, which constituted an execution of or an attempt to execute the fraudulent scheme. 1. Wire transfer. Don't do it by federal wire transfer. Terrible plan of approximately $494,500 from the People's Bank in Biloxi, Mississippi to a California bank and trust bank account in the name of Egan Avenatti LLP in Irvine, California. Count 2. So that's the first count. Apparently that wire transfer is suspect AF. Beginning as early as in or around December 2017 and continuing through in or around March 2019 in LA and Orange counties within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendant Avenatti, knowingly and with intent to defraud, devised, participated in, and executed a scheme to defraud clients to whom defendant Avenatti had agreed to provide legal services as to material matters, and to obtain money and property from his legal clients by means of material, false, and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, and the concealment of material facts. We wouldn't know Michael Avenatti to make material misrepresentations of material facts. I mean, it's not like he said he had a credible witness against Judge Kavanaugh that turned out to be completely ridiculous or anything like that. None of that, of course. On or about January 5th, 2018 in Los Angeles and Orange counties, blah, blah, blah. Avenatti, for the purpose of executing the above described scheme to defraud, transmitted or caused the transmission of the following items by means of wire communication in interstate and foreign commerce. This is when you get tagged by the feds. This is when they can trace absolutely everything. It's gross. Yeah, and I'll go back to the Smollett thing in just a second. Wire transfer of approximately $1.6 million sent from Silicon Valley Bank through the Interstate Fed wire system to defendant Avenatti City National Bank attorney trust account in Los Angeles, California. Here's the affidavit. So those are the two counts. The affidavit is going to be a sworn statement, in this case by a Ramon Carlos, who will state this under oath as part of the evidence against him. But first, let's talk about the other possible reason that Jessie Smollett was let go. This is interesting. This is an interesting one. Take of it what you will. George Soros donated $408,000 to Kim Foxx, prosecutor who let Jessie Smollett walk free. Let's read this. Far-left billionaire Soros donated $408,000 to a super PAC that supported the prosecutor who let Jessie Smollett walk free on Tuesday. Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx, goodness gracious, announced she was dropping all 16 felony charges against the Empire star, whom police confirmed had faked a MAGA hate crime in January. That's strangely worded. The police can't confirm that he faked a hate crime. Well, I guess they could. We just don't know if that's a criminal act or not. So yeah, I guess they could. We'll keep it. Breitbart.com reports Fox had formally recused herself from the case in February because she had spoken with Smollett's family. Chicago Tribune later reported that Fox had asked police to turn the case over to the FBI after an intervention by Tina Chen, a former chief of staff for former First Lady Michelle Obama. Soros has spent heavily on backing progressive candidates for local prosecutorial offices across the nation following the rise of Black Lives Matter movement in 2014, which alleged that black defendants have been treated unfairly by the justice system. See how unfairly Smollett was treated? Fox ran in 2016 against incumbent Anita Alvarez, who faced intense public controversy over the 2014 murder of a black teenager, Laquan McDonald, by Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke. Gotta watch the jokes. Fox ran on a platform of criminal justice reform, telling local ABC News affiliate WLS7 that she wanted to focus on restoring faith in our criminal justice system and bridging the divide between the community and law enforcement. As Chicagoist.com reported in 2016, Alvarez received donations from the Old Boy Network, but Fox found other donors, including Soros. So there you go. I mean, here's the thing. These donations were, you can certainly criticize these donations. They were in 2016. State campaign finance records show that Soros personally contributed a total of $333,000 to Fox's super PAC before the March 15th, 2016 primary was over, and an additional $75,000 after she won. Now, does that mean, so this is mildly specious, because he did donate $408K to Kim Foxx, but that doesn't mean that he had anything to do with this particular issue. Now, you may believe he did. And by all means, believe what you will. It's certainly fishy. Dropping a 16-count felony indictment that came from a grand jury. Why? Why would you ever drop that? That's permission to go. That's permission to go for the feds. Either they worked out a fantastic deal, or there was some sort of Chicago pressure put on it, or some new evidence came to light. But it looks like maybe, I almost think it's a deal against Garagos. Back to the affidavit. Ramon Carlos, being duly sworn, declare and state as follows. I am a special agent with the Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigation in the Los Angeles field office and have been so employed since April 1995. Oh, by the way, loose chat poll. I started a series a long time ago and I have not followed up on it, and I apologize for that. But it's how to catch and convict a pedophile. Is anyone interested in a certain pedophile's case, or alleged pedophile's case that's ongoing down in Florida? Apparently, someone has been charged with possessing child pornography on a hard drive. And apparently, the argument is that they bought the hard drive off of eBay and had no idea that the child pornography was on there. Now, that's the public statements about it. But if I could potentially procure that criminal indictment, we would find the actual charges levied against said person. Would that be interesting? I mean, I would have to fully redact any identifying information from that document. This is an ongoing case. We wouldn't want to identify the person, but it's something that has hit the news. It's kind of in the public interest, and it fits right in with my How to Catch and Convict a Pedophile series, where we find out just how the federal government builds a case against these people, specifically with child pornography. It's crazy. It's crazy how they do this different stuff. The last one was about someone who was caught in a U.S. Postal Service sting operation. So now we have a completely, as far as I can tell, a completely different sort of operation to do that. So that would be interesting to me. If you guys would be interested in that, maybe I'll see if I can find those documents sometime soon here, and maybe we can review that. Again, I want to make it fully anonymous for the person, but I do find it very interesting, and I find the defense of it very, very interesting as well, because something doesn't add up about it. But we'll talk about that. It all depends on if I can get the documents, right? Like, that's the first hurdle in any of these things, because we got to make sure the reporting on any of these situations is absolutely accurate. All right. So sorry to digress on that, but that one's interesting to me. As an IRS CISA, I have investigated numerous cases involving criminal violations of Title 18, Title 21, Title 26, and Title 31 of the U.S. Code, which have resulted in seizure, search, and arrest warrants. In particular, I have investigated cases involving money laundering, international money laundering, securities fraud, tax evasion, and subscribing to false tax returns. Purpose of the affidavit. This affidavit is submitted in support of an arrest warrant for a criminal complaint charging Michael J. Avenatti with one count of bank fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1344-1 and one count of wire fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1343. I wonder if Mark Zaid still plans on catching a baseball game with Avenatti. Those guys were rather chummy on Twitter. The facts set forth in this affidavit are based upon my personal observations, training and experience, and information obtained from various law enforcement personnel and witnesses. This affidavit is intended to show merely that there is sufficient probable cause for the requested warrant and complaint, and does not purport to set forth all of my knowledge or of investigation into this matter. Unless specifically indicated otherwise, all conversations and statements described in this affidavit are related in substance and in part only. Statement of probable cause. Statement of probable cause. February 2019, warrant to search GBUS digital devices. February 22nd, 2019, in case number 8:19MJ103, I submitted an affidavit in support of an application for a warrant to search 7 digital devices in the custody of IRSCI in Laguna Niguel, California. The prior affidavit, the 7 digital devices had been produced from former Global Baristas US LLC employees. The Honorable Douglas F. McCormick, United States Magistrate Judge, authorized the warrant that same day. The application for a search warrant in the case as well as my prior affidavit in support thereof, are attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference. In summary, my prior affidavit stated, among other things, the following. Avenatti was and is an attorney licensed to practice law in California. He practiced law through Avenatti and Associates APC and Egan Avenatti LLP in Newport Beach, California. Avenatti was the sole owner of A&A. Avenatti was also the principal owner and chief executive officer of GBUS, which operated Tully's Coffee stores in Washington and California. In 2013, Avenatti's company Global Baristas LLC acquired TC Global Incorporated, which previously operated Tully's out of bankruptcy for approximately $9.2 million. Avenatti's company A&A owned 100% of Doppio Incorporated, which in turn owned 80% of GB LLC. GB LLC wholly owned GBUS, which handled the day-to-day business operation of Tully's. Guys, this is why you don't let lawyers run anything. Look at how many corporations this is. Look at how many corporations this is. There is probable cause to believe that between at least 2011 and the present, Avenatti committed federal offenses, including but not limited to the following. Fraud-related offenses relating to loans Avenatti and his companies obtained from the People's Bank in Mississippi, and wire fraud and money laundering offenses related to an approximately $1.6 million settlement payment Avenatti and EA LLP received in January 2018, but failed to transfer to EA LLP's client. Oh, don't fail to give your client money. That's a terrible plan. Terrible plan. First, between approximately January 2014 and December 2014, Avenatti obtained 3 separate loans from the People's Bank, an FDIC-insured bank in Mississippi, one $850,500 loan to GB LLC, 2 a $2.75 million loan to EA LLP in March of 2014, and 3 a $500,000 loan to EA LLP in December 2014. In connection with these loans, Avenatti produced the People's Bank with false federal personal income tax returns for 2011, 2012, and 2013 tax years. Oh my goodness. In these purported tax returns, Avenatti claimed that he earned $4.5 million in adjusted gross income in 2011, $5.4 million in AGI in 2012, and $4.08 million in adjusted gross income in 2013. He also claimed that he had paid to the IRS $1.6 million in estimated tax payments in 2012 and $1.25 million in estimated tax payments in 2013. However, Avenatti never filed personal income tax returns for the 2011, 2012, and 2013 tax years, and did not make any estimated tax payments to the IRS during the 2012 and 2013 years. Come on, Mike! Come on, you idiot! What on earth are you doing not paying your taxes? Why wouldn't you pay your taxes? Pro tip, don't commit fraud. Second pro tip, if you do commit fraud, pay your effing taxes. What are you thinking? Of course you pay your taxes. They always get tagged on taxes. Oh my gosh. All right. In fact, at the time, Avenatti still owed the IRS approximately $850,438 in unpaid personal income taxes, plus interest and penalties from the 2009 and 2010 tax year, or 2010 tax years. Additionally, on March 14th, Avenatti provided the People's Bank with a 2012 federal tax return for EA LLP, which claimed total income of $11.4 million for ordinary business income of $5.8 million. $11.4 million. Did I say billion? I meant million. And $5.8 million for the ordinary business income. However, the 2012 federal tax return EA LLP actually filed with the IRS in October 2014 claimed total income of only $6.2 million and ordinary business loss of $2.1 million. Ouch! Can't claim a loss if you're trying to use it for a loan, buddy. Not good. Don't defraud a bank. Why are you defrauding people? The guy clearly made a lot of money. Clearly was making a lot of money. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Second, from in or about December 2017, in the present, Avenatti defrauded one of EALLP's client, GB, out of the client's portion of an approximately $1.6 million settlement payment. I bet he advertised that settlement on his website, too. What a brainlet. Specifically in January 2018, Avenatti arranged for the $1.6 million settlement payment to be transferred to a newly opened attorney trust account. That's actually not abnormal. Rather than transfer his client's portion of the settlement proceeds to his client, after they sit in the trust account for a couple days, maybe even a month or something, while you wait to make sure there's not like a quick reversal on a post-trial motion, you're supposed to transfer that to your client. Like, that's where it goes. You wait and make sure there's no post-trial motion overturning the verdict or modifying the settlement amount, or, modifying the amount. It's a settlement, so you really don't have a lot of, you really don't even have like post-trial motions. You just wait, I don't know, probably a very short amount of time. Make sure the funds are clear. Make sure everything's okay. Make sure the deal is done. And then you transfer it to your client as soon as possible. You just can't keep it in your trust account. Rather than transfer the client's portion to the client, Avenatti used the entire $1.6 million for his own purposes, including to pay for expenses relating to GBUS. Avenatti lied to his client and claimed that the settlement payment was not due until March 2018. When the fake March 2018 deadline passed, Avenatti led his client to believe that the $1.6 million payment had never been received. Mike, you thought that... Look, I don't know. I negotiated it. They just never sent the check. Weird, completely weird. Completely weird. Oh my goodness. Let's do a couple chats real quick. Cynic in Chief says, can you stream how a judgment would be enforced? I could do that sometime. Maybe I could bring on a collections expert, a collection attorney expert. That'd be great. Enforcing judgments can be very complex. LPO Peru says, nice shirt. Thanks, buddy. Blaine20 says, wasn't there some lady in high office in Chicago that got something in a quid pro quo exchange for protecting Jessie? We don't know that it was a quid pro quo exchange. You're thinking of Kim Fox. And the payments from Soros were from 2016. But there could have been call in a favor, right? There could have been a call in a favor moment there. Donovan Clever says, cheers from the great city of Fargo. First time donator. Thank you. Hardcore listener since you recastrated Donga. Are you licensed in North Dakota? I'd love to throw a couple back on Lake Lakota and get some work done. I am not licensed in North Dakota. But everything else about that sounds fun. Yorgamundo 7, 16 felonies dropped. Classic white privilege. There you go. M says he's a perfect example of FU money in action. Could be. Finn Frog, what world we living in? It's okay to commit crimes, kids, if you're black and gay. What about latent gay? Yeah, you can commit all the crimes you want. Blaine20 says, allegedly Kamala Harris sneaked in an amendment to the Anti-Lynching Act to create some sort of special LGBTQ plus hate crime prosecution provision. That could be true, but I'm not aware of it, so I can't comment on it. Shadow Golf says, wish I could stay but can't. Have a great night. You too, buddy. Thanks for the donation. Timothy Reaper, how did this happen? Isn't Chicago MAGA country? You won't find a more MAGA friendly country than Chicago. You won't find more Trump support, more Trump hats, more good old boys running around terrorizing the minorities. You won't find that anywhere more than you will in Chicago. Chicago is MAGA country through and through, baby. KRI headquarters says, dang, pro. You are as white as the papers I used to roll joints, LMAO. Yeah, very white. White as the driven snow. Not very white, not to be confused. Very white. It's also winter. So there is no tan on these shoulders. So I apologize if the brightness on your monitor needs to be reduced. Hikari Blue says, we need more media gangbangs. I don't know about that. Sakaki Onsai says, Ollie Williams, she's gonna get it. She gonna get it. Over on One says, wearing a singlet, Nick? For shame. Yeah, I am. I'm about to go wrestling later. Chem is Life. Here is a report about Smollett case that you would be very interested in knowing. That is the report that was sent was the one I pulled up on stream about Soros. I think Lady Rackets is printing something again, which makes her a liar. Vla1NE says, if white supremacists were determined enough to attack/lynch him in a negative 21-degree blizzard with bleach, why did they let him live/leave so unscathed? Well, they weren't very effective. It was very cold. They might have been in the first stages of hypothermia and just not been able to think clearly. Blink Your Eyes 1400. We'll do 3 more and then we'll get back into it. Blink Your Eyes 1400 says, how mad is the beard if he knows about Saturday? I'm not sure if the beard is aware of Saturday. I'm not sure if the beard is mad about Saturday. I can only assume he would be. Maybe I'll talk about this more on Thursday. Because, I mean, that's literally... If Todd had a provision in his contract to perform a panel, that panel specifically, he had a provision to perform that panel, and she literally commit TI. She literally commit TI again. Hey, conventions, if Rial comes calling, maybe you send it to voicemail. And what I mean is, not that you don't book her, but I mean that conventions who have booked this insane lady, you've got to stop capitulating. So when she calls, she's got some crazy demand about kicking some man off of her panel. Maybe you just say, you know what? I'm not going to answer that because she's got a contract. They've got a contract. You don't need to go breaking contracts with one party in favor of another. That's a bad plan to do. That's a bad plan to do. It puts you in a really nasty spot. And fans hate it when they find out about it. But, all right. Mr. Gunn says, won my court case. So instead of paying my lawyer, I will pay you. Thanks for all the content. Shots for winning. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Congrats, buddy. Let's see what we got. Basil Hayden's. Rye. Basil Hayden's rye. Basil Hayden's bourbon is fantastic. Their rye is also quite magnificent. Now, I'm not going to do this as a shot because this one has to last me, a little while. This one has to last me a little while. But cheers, buddy. Congrats on winning. Ooh, that is smooth. That is smooth. Boag. Thoughts on Mike Lee's counter to the Green New Deal? I have not followed through. I saw some non-photoshopped pictures of it with a bunch of ludicrous stuff happening. I hope it was hilarious, but I haven't watched it. Mr. Archer says, I think purchase tickets are non-transferable. I have no idea. My name says, I will add some 2-day passes to this budding giveaway. I will email you too. Thank you. Addie M says, you can hold a contest where people submit designs to put out new merch. Let people vote on Twitter and give it to the person who made the winning one. Do you guys want to see? I've got a merch proposal. I'm going to put up a Twitter poll on this merch proposal. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. And the Twitter poll on this will be, let's see here. No, not what I want. There we go. The Twitter poll will be, do I add meme top and bottom text to this t-shirt, or do I just leave it blank? Okay. So here we go. Let me blow this up a little bit here. Here we go. I hope you guys can see this well. This is a t-shirt proposal. So watch out for the poll. I assume you can tell. I hope so. That is Shane's chair. as Shane's chair in a grave. In a grave. I'm thinking about putting top text and bottom text of RIP, Shane's chair, and then the date to the chair. I hope you guys like that. So it'd be like, oh, here we go. We can do let's do a red pen. RIP with much better typing, of course. Shane's chair. There we go. I hope you guys would like a shirt like that. I think that would be fun, and maybe a mug. So I think that would be good, but no text. Well, I'm gonna put up a Twitter poll. If it's close, I'll just make both. So there you go. Unfortunately, I don't know if you'd get it by Kamehacon, but maybe. So make it bigger on the screen. I mean, you see. Hold on. It's not that easy in this. Just a second. Oh God. No. I'm not gonna boomer my way through making it bigger on the screen. Sorry, there's not an easy way to do that right now. But I'll put up the high-res photos on Twitter. So keep an eye out for that Twitter poll. Sorry, that just my people were talking about new merch. So that's a shirt that's coming very soon, probably a mug. And then we are gonna do a Fear the Beard. Some Fear the Beard merch is coming as well. Fear the Beard merch is coming. So all right, let me read two more. Yes, there we go. Two more chats, and then we will move on. True American Hero says Legal Eagle is always on time. That guy doesn't live stream. Control Plus doesn't work. I don't think so. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible. The snipping tool I don't think has a zoom built in. Well, I guess, okay, hold on. Here, this is a weird way to do it. We'll do it this weird way. Oh my gosh, everything's a disaster. Come on. No, it's not happening. I broke Facebook. I broke everything. Here we go. Where's my... Now you guys got me all frazzled. Let's get back to it. It's it's the whatchamacallit. The snipping tool on Windows doesn't have a zoom built in. Anyway, just look for it on Twitter. What am I doing with this stuff? All right. So then, oh, and finally, ISJ322 says, Nick, the giveaway is just bait for bar complaints. Yeah, it is. I'll delete System 32 immediately. And no, Control plus mouse dial doesn't zoom in on the snipping tool. You guys. Yeah, I just doxed my Discord, so take that. All right, let's get back to this stupid complaint. Let's make fun of someone else other than me. How's that? That sounds good. That sounds like a great plan. Part B. Additional evidence regarding Avenatti's scheme to defraud his legal client, GB. As set forth in my prior affidavit, Avenatti engaged in a scheme to defraud his client, GB, out of GB's portion of an approximately $1.6 million settlement payment Avenatti and EA LLP received in January in connection with an arbitration proceeding against a Colorado-based company. On March 15th, 2019, I participated in an interview of GB. The information GB provided during the interview was consistent with the information GB and his counsel had previously provided to IRS-CI and the Newport Beach Police Department. During the interview, GB also provided the following information. Miggs Reviews says, Tim Pool said since Smollett paid $10K, he was not exonerated. Well, I don't know how Chicago criminal procedure works, but he might not. If the charges are dropped, then he's dropped. Now, they could do something like, they could do a, whatchamacallit? What we call it in Minnesota is a continuance for dismissal. Okay, so a continuance for dismissal is basically where the prosecutor says, we're going to not charge this. We're going to sit on this for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long they're going to sit on it. Just going to sit on the prosecutor's desk. And then we're not going to charge them unless they get hauled in on a similar crime. Now, if they get hauled in on a similar crime, we're going after both of them. But until that happens, they don't. Maybe Smollett negotiated a continuance for dismissal. Maybe part of that negotiation was a $10,000 fee, fine, penalty. I don't know Chicago procedure enough to know if they charge for that. In Minnesota, you either get that deal or you don't. There's not like a buy-in for it. So I'm not sure. But if the charges are dropped, I mean, that's what the articles are saying. The charges are dropped. If they're dropped, he's not charged with a crime. So therefore, is he exonerated? It depends on your definition of exonerated. All right. What is happening here? Okay. Let's get back to it. On or about December 18th, GB met with Avenatti and EA LLP's offices in Newport Beach, California, to go over the proposed settlement agreement with Company 1. During this meeting, Avenatti provided GB with a copy of the $1.9 million settlement agreement to review. Settlement agreement Avenatti provided to GB listed the payment dates as $1.6 million on March 10th and $100,000 on March 10th of each of the next 3 years. As noted in my prior affidavit, this information was false. The actual settlement agreement required Company 1 to pay GB $1.9 million on January 10th and $100,000 on January 10th of each of the 3 subsequent years. Oh, he forfeited his $10,000 bond. That's different. Yeah, you might forfeit your bond. That might be part of the deal because it's already gone, right? So, you know. Footnote 1, GB previously pleaded guilty to a felony theft count in approximately September 2018, was sentenced to probation. During his interview, GB said that Avenatti had encouraged him to plead guilty and that Avenatti continued working with GB and one of GB's companies after his guilty plea. There's a footnote there. Based on my review of documents produced by GB's counsel, I know that on or about June 29, 2018, GB sent an email to an EA LLP employee asking her to forward to GB the signed settlement agreement with Company 1. During his interview, GB said that sometime after he sent this email, EA employee 1 brought him a physical copy of the fully executed settlement agreement while GB was at EA LLP's offices. EA employee 1 handed Avenatti the settlement agreement. Avenatti flipped through the settlement agreement, then handed it to GB. This copy of the settlement agreement also falsely stated that the settlement payments were due on March 10th of 2018 through 2021, as opposed to January 10th of 2018 through 2021. As noted in my prior affidavit, between April 2018 and November 2018, Avenatti advanced GB approximately $130,000 to help GB meet certain financial obligations while he waited for his portion of the $1.6 million settlement payment from Company 1. Guys, if your lawyer is advancing you money, be very, very suspicious. Very suspicious. Absolutely terrible. Lawyers should not be advancing clients' money. Now, lawyers could withhold, like billing a client or something like that. But a lawyer actually giving money to a client, be very suspicious. Very suspicious of that. Oh yeah, don't worry. The 1.6 million, it's coming. It's coming. But you know, in the meanwhile, let me tide you over. I'll give you 130 grand. I will give you 130 grand just so you can meet those expenses. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. Where are you getting the money? Where are you getting that money? Like, it can't come out of your lawyer's trust account. That'd be highly illegal, right? Unless the client funds were in there and you were giving them their own money. Which would be really weird. Your personal account? No. The business account? No. I mean, come on, where's the money coming from? If a lawyer, pro tip, if a lawyer ever tells you, I'm going to lend you $130,000 while we wait for your money to come in, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. That money may never come in. The lawyer would never lend you that unless they're your mom or something. Whew. During this interview, GB said that in approximately October 2018, Avenatti told GB that Avenatti would be able to loan GB another 100 grand sometime during the first 2 weeks of January. Notably, under the terms of the true settlement agreement, Company 1 was scheduled to make an additional $100,000 payment to Avenatti's trust account on January 10th, 2019. Thus, it appears that Avenatti was offering to loan GB's own money to GB. Poof. During the interview on March 15th, GB's current counsel also confirmed that Avenatti still has not turned over to GB's client file to his current attorneys despite repeated requests that he do so. Based on my review of bank records and other documents, I have learned that on or about January 5th, a wire transfer of approximately $1.6 million was transmitted from Silicon Valley Bank through the Interstate Fed wire system to a City National Bank attorney trust account ending in 5566, CNB trust account associated with Avenatti. There's a footnote. I understand that the State Bar of California has specific rules that apply to the proper use of attorney trust accounts. For example, I understand that Rule 1.15 of the State Bar of California states that, quote, funds belonging to the lawyer or the law firm shall not be deposited or otherwise commingled with funds held in a trust account. Yeah, you can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Next. Based on my review of bank records and other documents, I have learned that on or about January 5th, wire transfer of approximate... Oh, wait, I just read that one. Request for sealing. I request that the criminal complaint, the arrest warrant, and this affidavit be kept under seal to maintain the integrity of this investigation until further order of the court. This was unsealed today. It was sealed 4 days ago, apparently. Or until defendant makes his initial appearance on the arrest warrant. I make this request for several reasons. First, criminal investigation is ongoing, is neither public nor known to Avenatti and other subjects of the investigation. Public disclosure of the complaint, arrest warrant, and the affidavit prior to his arrest and initial appearance could cause Avenatti and others to accelerate any existing or evolving plans and give them an opportunity to destroy or tamper with evidence, tamper with or intimidate witnesses, change patterns of behavior, or notify Confederates. Gotta watch out for the Confederates. Second, based on the evidence collected to date and described in my prior affidavit, there's probable cause to believe that he took a number of affirmative actions to obstruct an IRS collection action relating to GBUS's unpaid payroll taxes, among other things, lying to an IRS revenue officer, changing contracts, merchant accounts, and bank account information to avoid liens and levies imposed by the IRS, instructing employees to deposit over $800,000 in cash from Tully's stores, which were owned and operated by GBUS, into a bank account associated with a separate entity to avoid liens and levies by the IRS. If Avenatti were to learn of the instant investigation prior to his arrest, he might engage in similarly obstructive behavior. Yeah, they find out. They find out. This type of stuff is terrible. A terrible plan. Terribly planned, terribly executed. All right. Third, a number of former GBUS employees have expressed concerns that Avenatti might attempt to retaliate against him if he learned they were cooperating with the government's investigation. Fourth, there is a possibility that some evidence relating to GBUS's operations may have already been lost when GBUS was evicted from its corporate offices and Avenatti refused to pay the bill for GBUS's cloud-based server. Although IRSCI has been able to obtain some GBUS records, including the data stored on the subject devices, from other sources, Avenatti's apparent willingness to allow GBUS records to be lost or destroyed raises a concern that were Avenatti to learn of the criminal complaint and arrest warrant, he might not hesitate to destroy any remaining records and other relevant evidence. For all the reasons above, there is probable cause to believe that he committed bank fraud. Man, they've got a pissed off client who didn't get paid the money they were promised, and Avenatti took it. Allegedly. That looks really bad for him. Ooh, I would not want to be Avenatti in this one. Here's the exhibit. So this is the application for the search warrant. I'm not going to go through this. Here's the different violations that they're looking for, and they think they can find evidence of. Here's the attachment. Here's the property to be searched. The subject devices currently maintained in the custody of IRS criminal investigation in Laguna Niguel, California. So here's a bunch of hard drives and stuff like that they've already seized. Items to be seized. Here's a bunch of you got records, documents, correspondence, programs, applications, or materials. So if they've either got paper or electronic records, they're going to be trying to take those. Look at all these records requests. They have to put down records and document requests for each specific cause of action where they think they'll find, information about that cause of action. That's why this is so long. Subject devices containing that information. Evidence of attachment of other devices like thumb drives and stuff like that. Counter forensic programs, and they can seize passwords and encryption keys necessary to access the devices. Poof. Search procedures for handling potentially privileged information, because he is still an attorney. Well, he was still an attorney. I don't know if he is anymore. And it's probably not long for this world if he is. But he was still an attorney at this time, and he might have privileged client information on the devices. So what they need to do is they have to have another attorney come in. Probably. I guess we could see, but typically you'd have some other attorney come in who's not involved in the case to review the items and make determinations on whether or not they're privileged. So in searching the subject devices, the following procedures will be followed at the time of the search in order to avoid unnecessary disclosures of any privileged attorney-client communications or attorney work product. Law enforcement personnel conducting the investigation and search and other individuals assisting law enforcement personnel in the case have already obtained custody of the subject devices, which are capable of containing evidence of the subject offenses or capable of containing data falling within the scope of the items to be seized. The search team shall facilitate the transfer of the subject devices to the privilege review team, previously designated individuals not participating in the investigation of the case. The privilege review team, including a privilege review team assistant United States attorney or PRTA USA, will then review the subject devices as set forth herein. The search team will review only data from the subject devices that have been released by the privilege review team to the search team. They do this not only with privilege, but they do this with top-level security clearances as well. So it's pretty interesting, because if you have top secret information, like if you've confiscated a government computer or a government official's personal computer, which may have government documents on it, the people who are reviewing that may not have clearance to see that information. You have to have a privilege or a top secret review team come in. Sometimes it's an attorney, sometimes it's a judge who is cleared to review that data. And then they will review it and determine what can be disclosed and what can't be. So there you go. That's what that is. Privilege review team will either search each subject device where it is currently located or transport it, blah, blah, blah. So this takes a long time. Not more than 180 days. So they have 6 months to do that search. Let's see. Litigation support personnel. This is kind of boring. Oh, what they got code words. Search team will provide the privilege review team and or appropriate litigation support personnel with lists of privilege keywords to search the subject devices for communications data or other documents relating to the following law firms: Foster Pepper, PLLC, Osborne Mackler, PLLC, Eisenhower Carlson, PLLC, Talmadge Fitzpatrick, Tribe, come on! PPLC, and Brager Tax Law Group. Such privileged keywords shall include specific words like Foster, Pepper, Osborne, Mockler, Eisenhower, Carlson, Talmadge, Fitzpatrick, Tribe, Brager, as well as other email addresses and domain names associated with those individuals and law firms. Because the Chapter 7 bankruptcy trustee for GBUS has executed a waiver of the attorney-client privilege as to all communications between the GBUS officer, directors, employees, and agents, and any lawyer acting on their behalf, including Avenatti, the privileged keywords need not include specific words designed to capture all communications with Avenatti or his law firm, EALLP, and AA or standard privilege teams. There you go. So they, all of GBUS, the subject of this, they have waived their privilege completely in regards to all legal teams, so they don't have to worry about narrowing the scope of that stuff. But they'll segregate. Oh, they're pro-segregation. The government is still on this and will not search or review the contents of Avenatti's GBUS email accounts, including these email accounts. Such data will be maintained under seal by the investigating agency without further review, absent subsequent authorization as set forth in paragraph 12. I would strongly advise against emailing them anything, unless you want to be included in a federal investigation or the negative. Don't do that. Internal review of the documents and using the privilege keyword, blah, 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 blah. So that's how the privilege thing works out. This is still the search warrant. There's a lot of stuff here, but we're not going to go through each one of these, of course, because it is very, very dry and boring. Affidavit. When your affidavit has a table of contents, oh no, look at this. Look at this. Page 81, page 86, page 104. Oh, God. Oh, Michael. Oh, no. Page 158, the conclusion. We're not going to go through all this, guys. We're not going to go through all this. Of course. Nobody wants to sit through 160 pages of government complaints. Here we go. This is his support of the application for a warrant to search. Everything. Wow. Flash drive. I don't want to go through this. Do you guys want to go through this? Maybe we'll read the summary. It's the same. The same summary here. Hold on. Skimming it as we go. This is top level television here. Criminal proceedings. Cash deposits. Fraud offenses, page 123. All right, let's get down to that. Employee interviews. Don't fry yourself on this case. I'm not gonna. Here's what you know. Avenatti's in a bad spot. We're going to get down to those fraud allegations. What I saw GBUS bankruptcy proceedings. That's boring. What do we got here? More bankruptcy proceedings. Or was it? It was 100. Do it. Do it all. No, I'm not going to do all of it. No way. No way am I going to sit here and read all of that. Oh my goodness, I'd need to Minecraft myself immediately. Oh, this will be good. Let's do this section. The Newport Beach residents. Based on my review of records obtained from Escrow Company 1 and discussions with JM, I've learned, among other things, the following regarding Avenatti's Newport Beach residence. On or about September 23rd, 2015, Avenatti and LS entered into an agreement to purchase the Newport Beach residence from the GP Family Trust for approximately $15.75 million. Purchase agreement required Avenatti and LS to pay an initial $200,000 deposit within 3 days, an additional non-refundable deposit of $800,000 by November 15th, 2015, and monthly rent of $100,000 from December 1st, 2015 until August 1st, 2016, or the close of escrow. You think your rent is high. The rent is too damn high. $100,000 a month in rent. On September 28th, 2015, Avenatti paid a $200,000 deposit to the escrow company via cashier's check from the X Law Group. That's got to be the porn law group right there. On or about November 6th, 2015, Avenatti paid an additional $800K deposit to escrow company 1 via 2 wire transfers from the X Law Group's IOLTA attorney trust account in the amounts of $450,000 and $350,000. Legal Eagle would not read all of this, CK, you liar. In August 2016, approximately 2 days before escrow on the Newport Beach residence was supposed to close, a lawsuit was filed in the Superior Court of California for Orange County by a Swiss company named Maseko SA, in which Maseko claimed that it was entitled to possession of title and of the Newport Beach residence. As a result, the close of escrow was delayed significantly due to litigation. Ultimately, Avenatti and LS never completed their purchase of the Newport Beach residence. As noted above, in 2016, Avenatti paid to the GP Family Trust a total of $500,000 from A&A CB&T account 0661 and a total of $200,000 from GBUS CB&T account 2240. Information from Avenatti's divorce proceedings. Divorce proceedings. On or about January 2nd, 2018, LS filed a declaration in connection with the divorce proceedings regarding her marriage to Avenatti. In the declaration, she said, among other things, the following. They were married in May 2011 and separated in October 2017. Until November 2017, Avenatti and LS enjoyed a lavish marital lifestyle due to Avenatti's multi-million-dollar annual income. In November 2016, Avenatti told LS he had earned $3.7 million in 2016. Suspected that Avenatti's actual earnings are substantially higher than $3.7 million based on his self-published verdicts, their family's monthly expenses, and the fact that Avenatti failed to share with her his tax returns or bank records. Well, we know he didn't file them, right? In 2016, LS spent approximately $215,000, $643 per month on expenses for her and her son. Per month. That's like 40 Shanes a month worth of income. 40 annual Shanes a month worth of income on expenses for LS and her son. Whew. Avenatti and LS made an approximately $5.4 million profit when they sold the Laguna Beach residence in 2015. Avenatti's and LS's home in Newport Beach was worth approximately $19 million, and they were leasing the home for a monthly rent of $100,000. LS said that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to fully remodel the Newport Beach residence. Avenatti and LS employed 2 nannies and various housekeepers at a cost of approximately $15,000 a month. Good Lord. Avenatti made quarterly payments to LS in the amount of $60,000 to $80,000 that Avenatti and LS agreed could be added to her personal savings. Avenatti and LS spent approximately $30,000 per month on travel, entertainment, and gifts. LS spent approximately $20,000 per month on clothing. $20,000 a month on clothing. Wow. LS's monthly American Express bill typically ranged from $60,000 to $70,000, was always paid in full. Avenatti and LS owned 2 different private jets, one through A&A and one through an entity called Passport 420. LS believed each private jet was worth approximately $4.5 million. Avenatti and LS had an investment in exclusive resorts. LS indicated that the total yearly cost for the investment in and use of exclusive resorts was approximately $158,000. That's just yearly. That's not that impressive. In 2017, Avenatti and LS bought an antique Ferrari at Ferrari South Bay. Avenatti drives a 2016 Ferrari GT Spider leased in LS's name, valued at $410,000. He has an extensive watch collection, including 3 or 4 Patek Philippe watches Avenatti told LS were worth $60,000 to $70,000 each. Man. Avenatti's statements regarding his net worth. Based on my review of documents collected in connection with the investigation, I have learned that Avenatti previously provided various banks with the following information regarding his net worth. On or about May 19th, 2013, Avenatti provided Home Street with a personal balance sheet. Personal balance sheet indicated that he had total assets of $40 million, liabilities of $5.46 million, and a net worth of $34.5 million. I mean, here's the thing, y'all. That isn't that much. That is nowhere near the amount required to sustain that lifestyle on a personal balance sheet, okay? Now, he may have other investments tied up in trust and LLC sort of arrangements, but that is not that much. I know families with higher net worth than that, they could not sustain that sort of lifestyle. That's all income, baby. Avenatti's a machine. On or about March 11th, Avenatti produced a People's Bank with a personal balance sheet. Personal balance sheet indicated that Avenatti had total assets of $69.5 million, total liabilities of $5.4 million, and a net worth of $64.08 million. At the bottom of the personal balance sheet, there's a handwritten note signed by Avenatti, which states, "The above is true and correct to the best of my knowledge." On November 1st. So, I mean, look at his annual income is going up significantly, or annual balance sheet. Personal balance sheet in the amount of $75.69 million. Despite claiming that he had net worth in 2013 and 2014 ranging from 34 to 70 million, Avenatti did not file any personal income tax returns during these tax years. Ooh. Fraud offenses relating to the People's Bank. Probable cause to believe that between approximately January 2014 and April 2016, Avenatti engaged in a scheme to defraud People's Bank in Mississippi by submitting false documents, including false tax returns and balance sheets, in connection with 3 separate loans Avenatti and his company sought and obtained. Based on my review of the publicly available information, I know that the People's Bank, which is located in Biloxi, has been federally insured by the FDIC since approximately 1934. Based on my review of records obtained from the People's Bank, I've learned, among other things, that Avenatti obtained 3 separate loans from the People's Bank during 2014. Dave Ramsey would not be happy. Dave Ramsey would not be happy with Avenatti's debt balance here. A loan to GB for $850,500 on January 16th, 2014 to mature on April 15th, 2014. So a very short-term loan. A loan to EALLP for $2.75 million on March 14th to mature on June 15th. Again, very short terms here. And a loan to EALLP for $500,000 on December 12th to mature on December 12th, 2015. So 1 year maturity, that's the longest one. I've also reviewed IRS tax records and other bank account records that are relevant to these loans. So here are the 3 loans. In or about January 2014, he sought a 3-month loan from the People's Bank in the amount of $850,500 for specific purpose of working capital. I've learned, among other things, the following regarding this loan. He personally guaranteed it, so he said that he would pay it back even though it was being loaned to the LLC. This pierces the corporate veil. This means that if the LLC did not pay, they could go after Avenatti personally. As did Doppio, and Avenatti signed the loan documents as manager of GB LLC. He told CS, the president and CEO of the People's Bank, that Avenatti owned 90% of GB LLC through Doppio Inc., which he wholly owned. People's Bank provided a list of information they would need from Avenatti before the bank could approve the loan. Avenatti provided numerous documents to the People's Bank, including financial statements for GB LLC that listed over $41 million in assets for the company, including $22 million in international rights and nearly $38 million in members' equity. Avenatti also provided GB LLC's operating agreement dated December 12th and the stock certificates for GB LLC and Doppio, an irrevocable stock transfer signing over the stock certificates as collateral for the loan. There you go. These are, he got these. He has high income. We know that. That's what he's saying here. I don't really want to read through the loan details. Let's see what the next subheading is. Subheading is paying off the loan. Fraud offenses relating to the $1.6 million settlement. Oh boy. On or about January 14th, GB filed an arbitration claim alleging that Avenatti received 1.6 in settlement, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is just expanded versions of the same stuff. I don't know if we should... This stuff is so dry, right? It's a federal indictment. Well, it's an affidavit supporting a federal indictment. This is not... who did he pay? Oh, here's the own personal purposes. This is interesting. Including the following payments. Approximately $617,000 to a Florida-based attorney Avenatti worked with on an unrelated contingency case. A total of so he owed this guy $617,000, paid him out of this money. Total of approximately $350K paid to EA LLP bank accounts. So that went, to his business. $200,000 to GBUS and vendors of GBUS. Approximately $112,000 to a bank account in the name of Michael Avenatti, Esquire. Why did you put Esquire on your own bank account, you turd? Approximately $46,000 to the X-Law Group. Approximately $27,000 to Dennis Brager, the lawyer who was representing GBUS in IRS payroll collection case. GB sent numerous text messages and emails to Avenatti between January 2018 and November 2018. Always talking over text. Text messages are consistent with GB's claims that he believed the first settlement payment was due on March 10th, did not know that Company 1 had made the settlement payment, and did not know that Avenatti had received the settlement payment in January. Always working over text. It appears that Avenatti did not respond to most of the messages from GB to Avenatti relating to the settlement payment from Company 1. GB also made clear to Avenatti that he would be having financial difficulties without the settlement proceeds and that it was imperative for GB to get the money. So there's the wire. On or about March 10th, GB sent a text to Avenatti stating, I was just thinking, is this a big day from our friends at Company 1? March 12th, here's my account information for the wire. March 13th, any word on that wire from Company 1? March 14th, let's chat today. I'm sure it will be resolved. Oh, no. Ozarek, this is similar to Discovery, but this is a criminal investigation, so it's a little different. More text messages. But yeah, I mean, Discovery, text messages of all this stuff can come out. Absolutely. Look, guys, I can't sit. I can't sit and do this tonight. There's so much here, and it's really dry. It's really boring. I don't want to do it. I don't think you guys want me to read through all of it. Subject devices. There's nothing salacious, just a bunch of, documents about how they're lying. Here's there's the end. Here's the exhibit. What do we got? Limited waiver of attorney-client privilege and consent to search. That's boring. That's it. That's it. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. Just know this. This is a brutal case against Avenatti. You've got a client who's pissed. You've got a client with records that have been turned over. They've waived all privilege. The client's in bankruptcy, so they have nothing to lose. Avenatti's got shell corporations that are probably exempted from privilege in general. This is a bad case. They seem to have a lot of evidence against him. They can backtrace the money that he received into that IOLTA account, and it's been sent out. Don't want this. Don't want this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read the super chats, and we're going to call it a night. Tomorrow's the 40K stream. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's already 1. We got to get through these chats. Otherwise, I'll be doing a 4-hour stream. Tomorrow's the 40K stream. Thursday, we'll probably be talking Vic stuff, I'm guessing. Friday will, of course, be... Friday will be the 24-hour stream will commence. Okay, so let's... I gotta find out where those chats ended up. Okay. Addie M. You can hold a contest where people submit designs to put on new merch. Let people vote on Twitter and give it to the person who made the winning one. That's a possibility. Oh, wait. True American Hero says Legal Eagle is always on time. Oh, wait. I read those. Gangio says, look at Streamlabs. You can set up a free raffle on there with Twitch integration. You could do the 24-hour stream on Twitch and raffle it then. Easy. Maybe. I have to check terms of service before I do a raffle. Eric Ford says, first time super chat. Thanks for all you do. Thanks, buddy. You're welcome. Solo Beverly says, hashtag gray hair boomer. Neil Purcell says, Garagos has his own law podcast with Adam Carolla. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not that. Adam, be immune. Be immune. Rhinosaurus Rex says, have you read any books or comics based on the Halo universe? Or better yet, played any of the games? I played Halo 1, 2, 3, I think. Played a little bit of 4. I played through 1 and 2 and 3. On release day, that was a tradition my buddy and I had. We would play through the whole game. I didn't read any of the books or comics, no. I liked Halo 1. My favorite memory of Halo 1 was at the second level when you're first on the Halo. Like you escape the ship and you crash on the Halo, and then you're running around. All you got your assault rifle and you've got your pistol, right? I was playing it on Legendary one day, and those two the flying things, the ghosts, I think they're called, or the phantoms. Either the phantoms or the ghosts, the flying ones, come in and they strafe you a little bit and then they fly off, and then you don't see those till like way later in the game. I was torqued because I was on Legendary, pulled out my pistol, I was behind a rock, and I happened to headshot the pilot out of one of those things. A truly miraculous shot. And he died and fell, and then the ship crashed and landed. And I was like, wait a minute. Can I get in one of these things on the first level? Banshees. Banshees. That's what they're called, Banshees. Apparently, like if you blast one of those guys out of there, you can actually get in there. So I take off and I'm like running for this thing because I'd already played through before, but I was running for it. I'm like, this will be funny because I'm gonna be on Legendary and I'm gonna just fly around this ship and just destroy everything. Yeah. I died like at the 10-yard line. I was just pissed. I've tried to replicate that so many times and I've never been able to do it again. So there you go. There you go. I'm not lying. I didn't get in the ship. But it was on the original Xbox. I don't know if they patched that later. I don't know if you could actually get in the ship or not. I don't know if that's possible. But I know that you could headshot one of those guys through like a gap in the ship. It was pure luck. I was just, shooting at him for fun. And the guy fell out and the ship fell. So if you guys are Halo junkies, try it. Try it. I've tried so many times to replicate it and can't do it. So stream you playing Halo for 40,000 hours straight. I'm so bad at Halo now. That was back when I was in college, guys. I was probably, that would have been 2000, 2001 or whatever. Whenever that, maybe 2002. I don't remember when it came out. No, Halo. Yeah, it would have been around that time. So there you go, guys. There you go. But it was because I was on Legendary that as I was running, all the, the enemies just annihilated me. I'm not Halo bragging. It was pure fluke. It's pure fluke, and I screwed up. I would have been bragging if I would have gotten in the thing and flown around. So, if anybody can verify that, you've got all the Halo skills in the world. I would love it. Chandler Edwards says, I think it's to try and appease both sides, possibly. That's for the convention stuff. Could be. It's a bad play. One side has the momentum and the fans. The other side has 14 angry blue hairs. That's it. Danny Agent 87 says, most of con owners are leftist NPCs, so it's expected. That could be. VUE Samadare, a detective, says, what do you think about Article 13 UK pass and is past US? show that guns. Are you telling me to flex my arms? I'm not going to do that. The Article 13 in the UK is troubling. I looked at it back when they were passing it. Must be going into effect. All I got to say is go get your porn licenses, I guess. Go get your porn licenses. Did you ever do the Halo jump? No, I loved that video, but I never pulled it off. Here we go. Jason Grudhuis says, Vox Day's book explains pretty well how and why SJWs get their hooks into businesses and burn them to the ground. Yeah, it's what his two books are: SJWs Always Lie and SJWs Always Double Down, something like that. Whatever you think about Vox Day, at least the summaries of those books are correct. I haven't read them. No One Important says, Rial tweet confirms charges for autographs. Good job. Plum Logan says, cough, Mueller report, hard bastard cough. Monday! I already confirmed, hard bastard. We're 99% confirmed. I'll tweet about it when I've got his 100% buy-in. But it looks like Monday. Monday, he's going to be on the show, live at 11, just like normal, and we'll be going through the Mueller report. Mueller. Hessian says, saw some news. The charges against Smollett were dropped after pressure from a Michelle Obama aide. Very possible. Very possible. Goes against the narrative to have a fake hate crime. But how many hate crimes have we seen faked? Quite a few. Matt Field says, best way to give away the ticket. Short video announcement. Commenters say they want it. Use random comment selector. Jim wants on. Check time machine. There you go. I'll take Jim wants on. Check Telegram. Weirdo with a cello says, just assembled my new chair to your last stream. I'll treat it with the dignity Shane never could. Don't need the armrests. DM me if you want. No. I will never. I do not need someone else's armrests. M says, it's interesting they mentioned Biloxi, Mississippi as the Avenatti file. Biloxi is a huge casino betting town, like 10 plus casinos. Could that be relevant? Lots of people have tried to launder money through casinos, so it could be. I don't know. Asia Frazier says, is it possible to instate punishments that are cruel or unusual, so long as they're not cruel and unusual? Let's just say, I guess in theory, sure. But cruel and unusual punishment is really limited because we do some pretty cruel and unusual punishments. Putting someone in a box for life is cruel and unusual to most people. They may deserve every single second of it, and we may be happy that they're in there for life. But putting someone in a box for their entire life in maximum security, that is obscenely cruel and unusual. Could you imagine being 20 years old and being put in a box for life with no interaction with anyone else other than your prison guards? I mean, that's crazy. Crazy to think of. Most people would rather be shot. The Kilted Privateer says, hang your local pedo in Minecraft and life. Wow. That's brutal. An unnamed source says, it's time the alt-right adopted Soros to finally get some sunlight on his little hat. Ein Volk, ein Führer, ein Soros? That's German, and I'm sure that was a violation of the YouTube terms of service. So thank you for that. Jeoku Hutenjin says, feelings about Article 13, not positive. Again, I haven't researched it extensively. I talked about it back when they first passed it. I am opposed to all sorts of preemptive censorship. I'm opposed to licenses for speech. I'm opposed to licenses for consumption of content. And I'm opposed to government control of the flow of information. So I hate it by nature. Let's see. Koopa Crew says, the Joker's one fear in Batman the animated series was the IRS. That's because the IRS gets everybody. Asia Frazier says, do you have to pay taxes off what you make on YouTube? Absolutely. It is income. And I do. I do report all of them on my tax return. Whether or not I pay, obviously depends on whether, let's be correct on this. I pay taxes on what I make on YouTube. Whether or not that outweighs deductions depends on everything else that's happening during the year and what my deductions are. Also, I have 5 children, so that's a huge deduction right there. Andrew Armstrong says, Avenatti has to be the most brazen alleged criminal. Yep, it's doing well for him. Elizer Asensio says, oh wait, Elazer Asensio says, I'm drinking a Chivas Regal 12 year with this video. Ooh, I hope that's good. I've never had Chivas Regal, but I see it all the time. Think Club says, if I forget to pay my taxes for 3 years, will you represent me? Probably not, but I will refer you to someone who would very competently represent you. You don't want me to do that. You don't want me to take on the IRS as your tax attorney. That's not my area of practice, but I do know people who would very competently do it, and I would be happy to refer you to them. Papa Giorgio says, dang, you look like a man slut wearing that tank top, Rekieta. Yeah, well, you know, looking for those donations, boys. Alex Bayer says, why do you think I left Chicago? Too MAGA, so I went down to Pascagoula, Mississippi. Less MAGA, Mississippi? Yeah. Less MAGA also. South, way less racist than liberal blue states. You know, that is actually not false. At least in the South, you know where you stand. You know where you stand where you go. You know where the racists actually are, and they will be happy to tell you about it. In the North, the racism is hidden, masked, obscured, behind a smile, and it's awful. It's awful in so many ways. There you go. Elazer Asensio says, Tempus Edax Rerum. Cheers. Okay. I'm not good at pronouncing Latin, so. Schooled says, so is this the stream where Nick challenges guests to IRL wrestling? I'll challenge anybody. Anybody IRL will wrestle. I'm like 2,000-0 already. Nick Thibodeau says 40K stream with Jim Jam. Apparently on Jim's stream today, he confirmed that he's joining me for either the 40K or 24-hour stream. I'm not sure which one, but I'll invite him to both. I've already DM'd him about the 40K stream, and I will drop a link to him. And if he joins me, he joins me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's you know, you don't tell Jim what to do. And if he's definitely invited, and I would very much appreciate talking 40K with him. These Hands says, Nick, would you be interested in doing a stream about model building? We can invite Ty, and he can talk about the Yamato. If he's built it by then, I'll wax poetic about Gundam model kits, and you can be the 40K guy. I haven't built 40K models, so I'd be really, really underqualified on that. Mr. Joshua 93. Can't we just throw the book at her already? Dang. I think he means Monica Rial. I mean, what she's doing is crazy. Craziness going on. Absolutely insane. I think it's time to really expose some of it and talk about it more and more openly as this information comes out. Because you can't do this to people. You can't do it. You can't violate their contracts. We want Drexel and Whiteface in the 24-hour stream. I don't know if you'll do. I thought about Drexel and I getting having a girls' day and getting like mud makeovers. Because can you imagine how wild that would drive people? Oh my goodness, that would be. Ugh. We're just exfoliating, bruh. We're just exfoliating. Ear Juice says, my merch idea was a hit. Won't do the Fiverr thing then. Facetious Sage says, I don't know. I couldn't monitor the chat when it came out. But yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. My art guy does. My art guy Tillip does a lot of my merchandise. We kind of collaborate on it when possible. So if you don't like it, you can blame me. And if we need to have some different stuff, then we can have different stuff. But we are working on various things. But guys, we both have other things going on. So if we can't get it out as fast as you want it, I apologize, but we're working on it. Facetious Sage says, Garagos described Smollett's situation as a media gangbang. Info out showing Smollett lied. The real media gangbang was the Covington kids where exonerating video was ignored. Preposterous. Absolutely. Why exactly did they drop the charges? The world will never know, Memology. The world will never know. Tassia says, welcome to the Boomer Show with your host, everyone's favorite tennis racket, Nikki the Cyber Disaster Rackets. Blaine 20 says, I've avoided calling you a boomer because I'm about your age, but man, you're pushing it. It's bad. Rich Meister says, the Joker. I may be crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you. Michael Shepard says, hey, Nick, first time super chat. Oh, thank you. Off topic, but what are your thoughts on the EU censorship bill being passed? I don't like it. Again, not even knowing much about it, I don't like it. The government should not be in charge of any information being censored. Except maybe child pornography. That's about it. That's about it. And yes, for those in the back who are confused about this, I include gore in that. I include gore in that. I will include, illicit pictures of people and videos of people that they may not want out there. However, if it is violating a law or it is violating a civil law, there should certainly be recourse for it through the courts. But I don't want the government preemptively censoring speech. I always start at 0 and I go only as far as I'm willing to go. Personally, government preemptively censoring speech, for me, child porn is it. That's it. Everything else, there's civil remedies for it, and it's not comfortable. But maximizing freedom is more important. That's me. Asia Frazier says, instead of reporting you to lawyer bar, we'll have a word with all of your local bars so they won't sell you any alcohol, your punishment being sober. Oh no, don't do that. Samurai 85X says, hey Nick. Sent you a DM on Twitter with some fan art. Same name is here. Might be cool for your merch if you want to use it as such. Thank you. I'll take a look at it. I'll try and find it. We'll see. Rando number 9 says, Nick, can we permaban all Europores from chat? No, we can't permaban all the Euros from the chat because what else will they have left when they're censored into oblivion? Zypher Warrior says, back, felt like you bore the weight of the world. Okay, thank you. Taco Jones says, read it all, 24-hour stream starts now. No, not happening. Cameron Griffin says, did you hear about MAFB arrested for child porn? Who is MAFB? MAFB arrested for... Let me see if I can find that. Oh, Minot Air Force Base? That was 2016. Oh. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is? MAFB. An Abingdon man. What is this? Child pornography. Hooker's Mill Road in Abingdon? Well, you can't trust that guy. Wait, oh my god. I don't know if this is the same thing. I don't know what that acronym means. Michael Avenatti Facebook. I don't think that's true. Sorry. Let's see. Cameron Griffin, if you could tag me and clarify what that MAFB is. I don't know what that acronym means, and is that the brother of Wiedenheft or whatever? There you go. If that's the brother of Wiedenheft, then maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I heard about the brother of Wiedenheft arrested for child porn. So, very unfortunate. Also tried to start a GoFundMe brazenly against the GoFundMe's terms of service. Can't do a child pornography criminal defense. Cherno says, when it comes to buying used hard drives, the first thing you should do is wipe it. Wipe the drive completely as soon as you receive it because you don't know what's on there. Here's the thing. Don't buy used hard drives. As not your attorney, but as just a guy on the internet imploring and begging you, don't buy used hard drives. Don't buy used phones. Don't buy anything used with the storage on it because you don't know what's on there and you are strictly liable for what's on there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wiedenfeld's brother. That's the MAFB. The MAFB. Yeah, I have heard about it. We might be. You might see a video on that coming out in the next day or so here. Or I mean, we might talk about it on a live stream. How to catch and wait. No, we wouldn't do that. We'd have to get a redacted criminal complaint against someone else other than that guy. But yeah, some people have been talking about it. We'll see. Timothy Reaper. Oh yeah, Timothy Reaper says, "Remember, kids, never live beyond your means." Dax Terminax says, "If I had more YouTube cred, I'd be wanting to join you on your 24-hour stream to discuss Vampire the Masquerade with you. The lore isn't as expansive as 40K, but I think you might find it intriguing. I have the original Vampire the Masquerade on a CD somewhere. I should load it up. I hear the second one's coming out, and I think Razorfist is pissed because it went SJW or something. Okay. Bad Dragonite says, you might like the strategy spin-off Halo Wars. Maybe. Blaine 20 says, EU Article 13 would stop people from investigating corrupt officials through the sharing of photos on social media. No. Maybe. I don't know. Wouldn't that be interesting if it did? Johnny Goldmare says, have you read the Great Replacement Manifesto? It's illegal in my country to possess it, so I haven't seen it. What could possibly be so bad? Much love. I have started reading it. I only got about a page in because I was very busy. I do have it. Don't Tell New Zealand. Don't Tell New Zealand. The opening of it is just a guy ranting about the birth rates. You know, so the Great Replacement. Yeah, I've got it. I intend to read through it, but I'm not in any rush right now. New Zealand hates me enough at the moment, writing nasty articles about me. Boag says, Mexicans are getting back gun rights. Best week ever. Okay. Blaine 20 says, check out David Merland on YouTube for tons of IRS fun. Nothing about IRS sounds fun to me. Richard Fitzwell says, show Bob's and Vagine, you thought-faced lawyer. That's only for premium Snapchats, good sir. Ultimate IRS says, give me money. S Cybertaz says, con passes can't be bought for other people. Use PayPal to send passes. Costs to I Stand With Vic people. Use at AnimeEsh202 and at I'm Supergirl11 to verify. Xander's Rant says, DBFZ with Jim. Does Batman pay his taxes? I'm not doing DBFZ on Wednesday. I don't know. I don't have a full plan for the 24-hour stream yet, but maybe. Galavon Prime says, did you see the Rekieta Rage design I emailed? I don't think so yet, but I'll have to look. My emails, lots of stuff coming in. Hikari Blue says, I tuned out for a while. Was there a rage moment? I don't know if there's a rage moment. There's some laughter moments. Cameron Griffin says, I direct message you the article on Twitter. And Blaine 20 says, some cops have been known to sell used computers with CP on them to local computer repair shops and then track down the buyer and arrest them. That is awful. That is awful. Very disgusting to do that. That would be yuck. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know the news reports had no problem disclosing this information, but I have to decide how to disclose the information. Thank you, Cameron Griffin, for that. We will definitely be talking soon. Talking soon. Oh, I've got your thanks. I've got your thing there. Well, guys, that's the stream tonight. It's a short one. It's a short one. I apologize, but we've got some big shows coming up. Big show tomorrow. Big show Friday to Saturday. The big in every way. And then Monday, of course. Monday, of course, with Hard Bastard will be a big show as well. And Thursday will probably be a big show too. I'm guessing on Thursday I'm going to be talking about Kick Vic stuff. But do keep an eye out for the shorter 10 to 15 minute videos talking about Monica Rial's safety concerns. I may even make that one tonight. I'm not sure. Or tomorrow. and talking, the contract recap is coming very, very soon as well, because those will be, to me, I think those are very informative videos to talk about what's going on behind the scenes with Monica and who should be concerned for their safety, because we definitely want people to be safe. And two, talking about the ins and outs of the contract and what clauses could be added to that contract, what could be edited in that contract to make it more solid. Now, again, I'm not allowed to disclose the owner of the convention that contract came from. Anime News Network apparently got permission to disclose that they received a contract from Kamehacon. So if you want to look at their clauses about it and just figure that there's probably some copy and pasting going on in the industry, that's what happens, guys. When you have a sort of a cottage industry or a hobby industry or an insular industry, you'll have one of these documents. It'll get copy pasted around, and then as people run into problems, or as they talk to lawyers who are like, you know what, you should add something to that, you know, their own documents will start to evolve in different ways, and you'll get something. My understanding is that largely the anime community, the anime production community, the anime convention community, they've been largely insulated from legal action, because why would you cancel a con without like a really good reason? Like, I'm sick. It's opportunity for you to make money. It's opportunity for the con to attract more people so they make more money. It's mutually beneficial. There's very little burden on either party. Just show up. A lot of times they're paying the guests to arrive anyway. Like, they're paying for their travel and stuff like that. So, I mean, they haven't run into this before. Not in any real way. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for laughing at Michael Avenatti with me. That guy is a absolute unit of self-destruction. 2018 was bad for him. Looks like 2019 is going to be worse. Can he run for president from prison? Yeah, he actually could. I hope he runs for president from prison and unthrones Donald Trump. How could we have a better meme than Michael Avenatti defeating Donald Trump behind prison bars and then running the country from prison? That would be great. That'd be great. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.